Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay.
Don't ask me to talk.
And welcome to yet another exciting edition of Don't Ask... Let's try that again. Don't ask me to talk, because I can't, apparently. I'm Eric Ryder. I'm one of your podcast pals. Even when I'm stumbling over my words, just know that I am your pal and your friend, and happy to be here with you, and happy to be here with your other podcast pal and my pal, Miss?
That's me.
Yes, that's your cue.
Oh, right. Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm Stacey
nodding
Heller.
along.
I'm the other pal. I was totally like, wow, like, where's he going with this? This is like, don't ask him to say the name of our show.
Right? I've only done it like 150 times, so I guess I'm due for a stumble at that point with that kind of hit rate.
Absolutely. Besides, I mean, you're like a voice of radio and podcasts.
I thought you were going to say reason, and then I was going to have to quibble.
No.
Clearly.
Trust me.
We're on the same
not
page.
What I was going to say. No, you're like the voice. Like, maybe that's your name, the voice. It's mysterious. Do you hear the clock chiming in the background here?
I do, yes.
Uh-huh. It's like the clock knows he's the voice. Right. It's very noir.
It tolls for thee.
Exactly. Well, that's like when we landed we were leaving from Seattle, SeaTac, and you hear, hey, it's Rick Riz, the voice of Mariner Radio. So you could also do something at SeaTac that's like, hey, it's me, Eric Ryder, the voice of Don't Ask Me to Talk.
SeaTac, I'm listening. I am open to this partnership. Although I got to say, they might take issue with us calling it SeaTac, because they've spent all this time and effort to rebrand it as just Sea, which, I got to say I'm not terribly happy about, because it's Tacoma Erasure, which, not cool in my book. But I guess I understand, just because people type in Sea into their search engine or whatever, trying to, find Seattle. But to me, this seems like they're solving a problem that doesn't exist. So no harm was done by it being called SeaTac. The town that it's in is called SeaTac. It principally serves the communities of Seattle and Tacoma. It's the Seattle-Tacoma area. And I could go on and on, but
well, it's sort of like the mall in Bellevue that, they try to call it the Bellevue Collection, but most people just call it Bell Square.
Right. Or is it Lincoln Square?
Well, that's
or is that
like
a different one? Is there two?
That's like an adjoining building.
Oh,
it's all part of the Bellevue Collection.
Uh-huh.
Which seems to me then it should be a collective, not a collection. But, why quibble?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's where I went and saw The Odyssey, was the movie theater there at the Lincoln Square Bellevue Collection thingamajiggy. And I was so panicked getting in, because I'm like, is this the right parking lot? Because I don't go there very, very often. And they've got, paid parking. And it's like they've got what do they call it with the parking where the
Oh, yeah. Park and pay or whatever.
yeah, but when a business covers the cost of the parking or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they'll
Validate.
yes,
They
that's the
validate.
one.
Right?
Yes.
So it's like validated is free, non-validated $20 for 2 hours of parking. I'm going to see a $7 movie. And I'm going to pay
Wait.
$20 if I don't get my ticket validated. So
Wait a second. $7. Like,
yeah, they do discount Tuesdays. So this is just a little cheapskate tip for you.
okay. I love that. That's good to know.
Yeah. So I go see the movie, and it's like $20, and I'm like kind of like a little bit worried, like, oh shoot, what if I didn't go in the right parking slot? What if I don't get my ticket validated? Meanwhile, like there's people piling up behind me. Just go, So there's no way I can back out, even if I'm in the wrong place. So I'm on the hook for $20 if I don't get my ticket validated. But so I pull in, get the I pull in, park, get the ticket, head on up, and go to the movie. And nobody says, "Hey, we'll validate your ticket here." But I see a little machine at the ticket taker's booth, and so I just put the ticket in. It does a little red light, and I'm like, "I hope that's the thing," because the lady's just like, "Come on through." No time for me to question whether the ticket is validated. So I'm like, enjoying the movie, but kind of in the back of my head, like going, am I going to have to pay $20? Am I going to have to like get out and then like, with somebody behind me trying to get out at the same time, going to have to like get out of my car and say, you're going to have to back up. I'm not paying $20 for this parking space so I can go back in the elevator and get my ticket revalidated. So this is kind of like in the back of my head while I'm trying to enjoy the Odyssey. And then I'm like, okay, well, here goes nothing. Get down to the parking garage and go to pull out, still sweating it, like, okay, come on, validated ticket. Don't fail me now. And then all the gates are open because it's free to park after 8 o'clock. So all that sweating for nothing. But
oh
yeah.
my gosh. That's so.
Never mind that I paid $20 for snacks at the movies.
You're so funny.
But that's a proposition that I can get on board with. I'm getting something in return, with the popcorn and the soda and stuff. So, but with the parking, it's like, come on, man. I got to pay to come give you money. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, well, they've got to pay for the collection.
Yes. Well, hence the validation system. But for me, it would have made me feel a lot better if there was like big signage saying, validate your parking here. Don't worry. Call us if anything goes wrong, anything like that. Like I just could have used some reassurance in that moment. But instead, I just had to kind of live with it. But now I know. Don't sweat it if I'm going to a nighttime movie, because when I get out, it's fine.
And here's the deal. I watched something today that I'll talk about during my cultural blind spot.
Yeah, our cultural blind spot segment coming up in the second segment of the show.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I learned something from the protagonist. You just need to abide, man.
That's kind of a hint at what you watched.
Kind of.
Yes.
But I will talk more about it in a little bit. And
perfect.
By the way, in a separate little bit here, your town and a town near me in Texas are going to be playing in the World Series. We are recording this before it's happening. It's happening on Friday. And Tacoma is playing in the Little League World Series.
Baseball World Series. Yeah, I saw that on the news.
And they're playing
Go
against
T-Town.
Bernie, Texas.
Bernie, Texas. All right.
which is around us. And it's spelled like Born, Boerne, but I guess it said Bernie, Texas.
So
I don't
all
know.
the Bernie bros are going to be cheering them on, but I'm cheering on our T-Town Bombers. I don't know what the team is.
I don't know what they are, but I think that's crazy. That's like when here we move to San Antonio, and who's in the finals for the NBA but the Knicks, which is, we consider that our home team, and the San Antonio Spurs. And now here we are, Tacoma and Bernie, Texas.
Apparently, they're the Tacoma's Soundview.
Okay.
Go Soundview.
Yeah. So, I honestly, I don't have a dog in this fight.
Well, you've seen a nice Soundview.
Yes.
So you can appreciate how great that is.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
so
So
you're rooting for them.
yes, sure.
Great.
That sounds good. Yeah, so that's kind of, Pete was telling me about that, and I was like, hey, that's crazy. But basically, I don't know. How's your week been? Mine, once again, I'm on the road again.
On the road again. Mine's been pretty mellow, which is good. We actually finally got out for the first time this year, back on the kayaks, out on the Sound. And it was gorgeous and, a lot of fun. So every year I say I'm going to get out there earlier, but it's right around mid-August when we finally get the time and the energy to actually get out on the water for the first time. So, at least we've done it.
Well, exactly. You can mark it off and say, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, this summer for me, with all of the smoke and everything that really started in late July at Veranda Beach, it was not a time necessarily for floating in the same way or stand-up paddleboarding. People absolutely did. I think it depends on how much the smoke would bother you. And, people were absolutely taking advantage of water sports and the beach and the pool and those things. But I didn't have as much float time generally this year. I don't know what was wrong with me. I feel like I needed to slap myself awake or something. I normally spend much more time floating.
Well, we still got a few weeks.
Well, I'm not there anymore. I'm done for the season.
Oh, really? Already
Yes.
back in Texas.
I'm back in Texas. Yes. I decided that my husband, who was missing me, I was like, fine. And, it's just good to get back and just kind of get settled again. When I have visited
the Lockhorns are now Longhorns. Hey, I just thought of that.
Hey, there you go.
Do you even know what the Lockhorns is?
Loretta, the woman, the wife.
I don't know. It's a comic strip with battling a husband and wife. Yeah,
that's funny.
What if they moved to Texas?
And I'm pretty sure that the wife's name was Loretta because my mother-in-law's name is Loretta, and so there have been a few of those comic strips up on the refrigerator because of it. But that's pretty funny, Eric. You're so funny. From Lockhorns to Longhorns.
That's right.
I love it. Maybe that's going to be our new holiday card.
There you go. You can have somebody draw you up as these characters.
Mm-hmm. That'd be kind of clever, actually.
Apparently they live in Levittown.
Levittown, isn't that Pennsylvania?
Long Island, I think. Wait.
Oh yes, Long Island. What am I saying?
Near Huntington, New York, on the North Shore of Long Island. Interesting. All right. Well, the stuff that you learn.
This show is nothing if not informative about things, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're back. You're settled in the apartment and fresh air, hopefully, now.
Yes, although it's a different kind of air because it is 102, 105, and then it's humid on top of that. However, I have found out that eventually your blood thins and you get used to it, and then it's 75 out, and you're like, "Ooh, it's chilly. I need a sweater." So
No,
I don't know
I
if that
definitely
takes
think that's
months.
true. Yeah, that is true. That you acclimate to whatever climate that you live in. So then when you go visit someplace that's, hotter and, people are like, this is nothing, I mean, it
Right.
really is something to you. And same thing going somewhere colder, and they're like, I'm freezing to death. And it's like, yeah, this is nothing. Yeah, well, because you've acclimated over time to a place.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's made me rethink my balcony, because I was thinking my balcony was basically just for show, because who's ever going to be out on the balcony? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Summer is different here. It's like what winter might be or rainy season might be for other people, where you just stay inside.
Sure.
So once I get into the fall and the winter, I'll be very happy sitting outside with, a light jacket. And so now I'm mixing it up, and there are things to do in the apartment. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been getting things back together. And then I have a cousin. It's the easiest explanation of who Rebecca is. And she is like I think it's my grandfather's generation, but my parents' age. So she's in her 80s. And Rebecca has been kind enough to gift us a whole bunch of things that are from my dad's side of the family. And so these huge boxes were waiting for me when I got home. And I'll tell you what, A, super generous, and B, I don't know when I'm going to use a Sterling tea urn next. So I don't know what to do with it. I'm like,
That's like me. There was a real nice brand new ladle up for grabs in the kitchen today. And I'm like, that's a real nice ladle. But then I'm like, do I need a ladle? We've got a ladle. Do I need the deluxe ladle?
That. Yes, you do. Because funny you say that. Wait, hold on. Let me get it. Oh, sounds of reaching. And look.
And yes, that looks very much like the ladle that's up for grabs in the kitchen. And
Yep.
I mean, there's still a non 0% chance that I will take that ladle home.
I mean, it's
if it's still
ladle.
there at the end of the night. Yes, because free ladle.
It's a free ladle.
Yes.
Well, and these things that she sent, they all have a lot of sentimentality, and they have family history and all those things. And so I'm not mocking it. It just goes to show how things generationally change, and that, here's these things that, once upon a time were these valued possessions, and, collected and revered and taken out for special occasions. And, now I'm like, would you like some coffee?
The classic coffee urn.
Right, exactly. So anyway, I'm incredibly generous, and I came to the conclusion that, somebody teased like, oh, you should melt it all down. And I'm like, I just cannot in good conscience do that. However, what I can do is pass it to the next generation and make it their problem.
There you go. They can melt it down.
Right? Like the stuff that was mine.
I'll send you my ladle as well for them.
Thank you. That stuff, like I went through it and I didn't saddle them with it. But this stuff, I feel like I need to saddle them with it.
Sure.
So
hey, they might appreciate it by that time.
You never know. Maybe things are going in a different direction. Maybe there's going to be more formality.
Yeah, the slow soup movement is about to take over.
Exactly.
Just sounds like one of those trends, right?
It does. I mean, come on. Ladle. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. So we've had like the most exciting week of all time.
I mean, look, it is what it is sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes excitement is too much. Like, for instance, I took my dad out for lunch this last week to celebrate his birthday. Now, his birthday is on the 14th, which was Friday, so I was working. So we went out on Sunday instead, which also happens to be my mom's birthday. So I called her later in the day. But we went out to eat. We went to a place on the Tacoma waterfront, and it's right next to where the Kenmore Air Terminal is. And they have flights around the Puget Sound. And I'm like, hey, that sounds like fun. I'm game if you are. I'm going to look that up. So later I looked it up and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a little on the pricier side, but you got to figure that for a plane that seats 4 people. Then I'm watching the news and they're talking about this Kenmore plane that went down in the San Juans. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe that's a little too much excitement for
Was it filled
me.
With cats?
No, thankfully. No kitties on board. Everybody ended up being okay, but still, I don't know. I can take that kind of excitement right now. Because every time I get one of these dental procedures, they're like, your blood pressure is really high, and I can only imagine like what would happen if I actually went down in a fiery crash, that even if I was okay, just like blood, I'd have blood shooting out of my brains from.
Okay, first of all, what? Second of all, I think your blood pressure would be so chill going to the dentist. You'd be like, this is just but a flesh wound. Like, have I got a near-death experience for you?
If I survived it, yes, maybe.
Well, if you didn't survive it, you don't have to go back, and it's no big deal.
Right. Maybe all my teeth would fall out in this made-up scenario, so then they could just give me some dentures and I could be done with it.
Perfect. Done.
There you go.
There you go. I like the end of this story. I do think that maybe this is not going to be one that we try to pitch to a film studio.
Right.
I still think that The Many Lives of the Tacoma Cats is a much better story.
And I'm sure if anybody from Kenmore is listening, I'm sure they have a great safety track record. That's just so happened to be within this week when I was thinking about the flight, and then I see this news story that I'm just like, hey, maybe. Maybe I need to just wait until next year or something.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They don't mind. They know. It's part of the business.
But
anyway.
there was a happy ending to this story in that there was the restaurant we went had a nice display of fancy chocolates from Puyallup Chocolates. And I'm like, those look really great. I'm completely stuffed. I'm not going to buy some chocolates right now at this restaurant, but those look really nice. Couple days later, who should send us some free swag, including some free chocolates, but the Puyallup chocolate people. So at work, I was like, hey, you guys. It was like, I don't necessarily believe in manifesting things, but if I did, that would be some evidence.
Yes, 100%. And I absolutely believe in manifesting. So if you could manifest a sponsor for us in the form of, again, a mattress company.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was Kenmore Air?
Or Kenmore Air. I mean, honestly. Or what's the chocolate place again?
Puyallup Chocolates. Yeah, really good.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm down because the Veranda Beach partnership is going to be, as the season comes to an end, our partnership with them is going to come to an end. Although I do want to let people know that in April, I am actually working on a artist retreat for artists, whether you're a maker or a creator, an artist, a musician, like Battersea, for instance, or you're a writer working on your opus or whatever it is. There's going to be reduced rates at Veranda Beach, and it's an opportunity to come and stay at Veranda Beach and be inspired by the nature, surroundings. You can be alone or bring a group with you and just enjoy and create and be undisturbed.
I love this.
Yeah. And this is a thing. I really want to create like this ongoing annual thing at Veranda Beach that's an artist enclave. I mean, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Very cool. And speaking of Battersea, a shameless plug, we've got a gig coming up in September 19th at the Valley in Tacoma once again.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's a couple times now that you've played.
Oh, yeah, we played there many times. I think of it as we're not the house band, but we're regulars there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's your home field.
It is indeed. We've got the home club advantage.
I love it.
A home bar advantage there. Speaking of
Awesome.
bars, today on the big great debate or top topic that we discuss here on the show, hangover cures. So if you've had a few too many, not that they overserve or any stretch, by any stretch. I'm so worried about getting sued this episode.
I know. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But I'm just saying any bar that people have had several drinks at, they may need a hangover cure. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and dude, it might be me that overserves you. So it's not always out at a bar.
Right,
You
right.
could be hanging out at home with
Yes, of course.
with friends.
It happens. It happens.
So
Not that
we've got ideas for
Yeah,
you.
we do have ideas. Even though famously, I drink a 12-ounce cider once a week. There was a couple times years ago that I might have overdone it. So looking forward to this discussion. Everybody, stay tuned.
I got things to say.
Yes. Speaking of things to say, I got things to say. I saw an amazing classic movie this last week that I can't wait to talk about. You saw a classic movie as well that I can't wait to hear your impressions about because it's one of my faves. And there's just tons to talk about in our cultural blind spot segment that's coming up right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. So stay tuned. Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals.
What's your name?
I'm Eric Ryder.
Did you already say that? Did I miss it?
No, I didn't say it because I was so eager to say, look how well I said that I ended up screwing it up.
Well, hey, I'm the other one, also known as Stacey Heller, and I am kind of excited about my cultural blind spot. It kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like I need to make myself a white Russian, although I've never had one, so I don't know if I would like that. And, I feel like that would for sure give me a hangover.
Yes. Well, one of the jokes in this particular movie, or maybe it's not a joke, but a character trait, is that the lead character, that's his signature drink, is a white Russian. So for folks that don't know, if you're catching us for the first time, thank you for joining us, first of all. And second of all, this is our Cultural Blind Spot segment where we talk about big pieces of culture, movie, TVs, books, restaurants, historical markers that we have visited that other people feels like the rest of the universe has already taken on. But for some reason, we missed out. And no longer will we miss out. We're crossing these things on our off our list. And you saw one of my fave movies from one of my favorite couple of movie makers, the Coen brothers. Why don't you tell us about it?
So I finally saw The Big Lebowski. I don't know where I was during, I feel like during a lot of the Coen brothers movies that they made, I was like maybe in child rearing years or something.
Yeah.
And so I missed a lot of these, but I finally saw it. Famously, the line about the dude abides, about white Russians, about the way that he dresses, the bowling. I mean, there were things that I knew about the movie, but I really did not know anything about the movie. So I was not expecting a live action exploration of various philosophies, world philosophies in a comedy, which it felt like this essentially was.
Well, the thing with Coen Brothers movies is they're often beloved. They often become these cultural touchstones. But when they're first released at the theater, it's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. Because, people go, what the hell was that? And then it's gone from the theater in 2 weeks, and then through through DVDs or VHS tapes or now streaming, people go back and watch these and realize, oh, there was so much more going on that I didn't understand the first time that I watched this, or, this beguiled the critics, but, this really is a fantastic movie, or there's so many funny things in here that I just didn't, it's one of those things. And Big Lebowski is a perfect example. When that came out, it really wasn't successful. But since then, its place in culture has just grown and grown and grown. It's one of the top cult movies of all time now.
It was very funny, but not in like completely a laugh out loud way, in the same way that, a Coen Brothers movie is funny. It's very character driven. And, these characters, you're like, what is happening here? Similar to like how Tarantino does it, where you're just like, what is going on? Then there's these whack-a-mole dream sequences that happen and that sort of transition the dude from one situation to another. And as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, okay, the Coen brothers are very, very smart. I mean, their movies at first glance seem like they're like a movies for dummies kind of a thing that they have going. But that there's like some kind of a statement or a thought that they're making. And, just as I'm watching the movie, it reminded me, his character reminded me of when I read The Tao of Pooh, like as in Pooh Bear. And like this whole idea of Taoism and, just sort of like there. And like Pooh is always getting himself in all kinds of like problems with his head stuck in his, tree or, getting honey or doing whatever it is. And I was like, okay, is Winnie the Pooh the dude / is the dude Winnie the Pooh? Like, and so then that actually got me thinking about all of this stuff and all of the kind of world philosophies that are going on. And they kept calling some of the characters like the nihilists and, and I'm like, oh, this might be what's going on. And the contradiction of his real name is Jeffrey Lebowski, and he gets confused with a millionaire of the same name. And it goes to show kind of like a sliding doors effect of like, here's the have and here's the have not, and all the complications that come with being the have, and the simplicity of, like, he peed on my rug. Like, I want my rug fixed. I want my rug cleaned. I want a different rug. Like, the whole thing is just very simple for him. So I enjoyed it tremendously. And after I had all of these big thoughts, I was like, am I insane? So then I had to do not even a deep dive, just a quick dive to see if I was anywhere on the right track. And apparently, yes, I was kind of on the right track with this. And I enjoyed it. I think that it's the kind of movie that the more you watch it, the more you come to appreciate it. And I suspect, not that I'm recommending that you do it, and certainly not if you're under a certain age, lots of stipulations on the show, but I'll bet it's amazing if you're stoned.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't know about that myself, but it is a movie that I enjoyed very much. And I mean, the impact of this movie is so big that it actually turned Jeff Bridges into like a real life The Dude. I feel like he has become the dude, whereas before he was just a regular guy, and then playing this movie and the impact that it had has just you see him wandering into commercials and stuff in a bathrobe. He's essentially just been playing this character for like 30 years now, which is wild. You know what I mean?
And I think he's that character. I think actually it seems like it's closest to maybe who he is in real life. Like
I think he's become that way though. But I mean, after playing this, if you look at like his roles before this, he was just, kind of, playing more like an uptight kind of guy. And then like playing this movie, I think changed him. It like broke his brain, turned him into the dude in real life.
See, I think it gave him permission to be more himself, because I think growing up, I mean, he is the son of Lloyd Bridges and brother of Beau Bridges. So like a Nepo baby, but like one that has made a name for himself. And, I think he's a pretty easygoing, simple guy. He's been married to the same woman forever. And he, I guess, famously like takes pictures on his sets and gifts them to everybody. And to me, taking a photograph is like experiencing a moment and taking a picture of it to, remember it. So, I mean, I'm going to make the argument that it just gave him permission to be his dude self.
Well, he certainly embraced it, whatever the case. But yeah, this is so hard to describe this movie, the plot, and why it's so great to folks that haven't seen it. But anybody that has seen it will, endlessly quote it. It's kind of like The Simpsons in that respect, where it's like if you're a Simpsons fan, you almost can't help but just quote it all day long, Right. And The Big Lebowski is like that as well. And brilliant performances from Jeff Bridges. Some of the Coen brothers' usual players like John Goodman and Steve Buscemi are in it. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. He's great. Julianne Moore. A young Tara Reid actually doing some good acting in this.
Yes. What?
Right?
Like, that seems like doesn't make sense.
She's one of those ones that started off good and then like kind of, unfortunately, I did a kind of Lindsay Lohan thing, and there's other actors that are like that. They start off like really grounded and then go like crazy and do some really wild acting. But Tara Reid is really good in this. Flea, bass player for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, plays one of the nihilists. He's great. He's in it. John Turturro, of course, who's been in a lot of the Coen brothers movies, is in it.
He plays Jesus.
Yes, Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It was packed and stacked with people, and it was like, wait a minute, and that was also really fun because it's fun seeing these movies and the people that have been in them forever ago, and to your point, to see where they've gone, if anywhere, or did they just sort of implode?
Yes. And of course it's got Sam Elliott famously as the stranger in it, who is just like a weird guy drinking at the bowling alley bar that
sarsaparilla.
Yes. That the dude and his friends hang out in and bowl. And it's kind of weird because it's like, I guess we're meant to be him because he's like kind of just telling the story of the dude,
And the whole beginning was like following this tumbleweed and just wherever it went.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is this a Western? Like, that's so weird. And then the tumbleweed takes you all over the place and you end up in LA. And I was like, what? Like, how is, like, Sam Elliott is, his voice is distinctive.
Right.
And
you're like, is this going to be a cowboy movie?
yeah, I was like, what's happening? And so it was very interesting. But I guess that's the way that the dude is, man.
Yeah.
He just goes where the wind takes him.
Tumbles through life. Yeah, it's a great metaphor for his character. And it's it's just great. It's a great movie. It's very, very funny. And yeah, but there's not a lot of like straight up jokes. It's just the performances are hilarious. The characters are very funny. It's just a very enjoyable experience. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. It's definitely one of those where, you might have to watch it more than once, but like definitely.
I think
so
you
glad
get to watch it more than once is the thing. I think you enjoy it first time, and then second time it's like even better. It just it's one of those where you can just watch it endlessly, and it's just more enjoyment each time, I think.
Yep, I would agree. So so that was really fun. It was such a curveball, and what a fun! It just landed in my lap, and like the dude, I was like, I must abide. I must just watch this, and so I did, and I'm better for it.
Fantastic.
So what about you? What did you watch?
Now, it's funny you should mention the Coens because I've been kind of on an unofficial mission to finally cross off the few Coen brother movies that I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
And for some reason, there's like 3 or 4 of them that are just not like readily available on any of the streaming platforms that I subscribe to.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to watch Miller's Crossing for a long time. And then
I didn't know that was them.
Yeah, so I finally just did the old-fashioned thing and checked out the DVD from the library. Because, I can still do that.
What? Wait,
Right?
do you have technology for that? Is that possible?
It is possible. And
Wow. I mean, next you're going to tell me that you got the VHS, like, tape version.
No, no, but I did find some old VHS tapes in storage space recently, and I'm like, am I ever in my lifetime going to actually play these again, or should I just, much like your ladle, melt it down? I don't know, but that's a topic for another time.
Convert it. Yeah, I know. Maybe you need to convert it. Anyway, okay, so you found it.
So finally got a chance to see Miller's Crossing, which again was when it came out, I feel like it made a splash in 1990, but it didn't stick around in the theaters for a long time. It got mixed reviews, but then since then, everybody that talked about it has been like, oh, it's one of these milestone movies. It's a great Coen Brothers movie, et cetera, et cetera. And I really like Gabriel Byrne, who stars in it.
Oh, yeah.
This was, I think, their first use of John Turturro, who's in the movie, and I believe their first use of Steve Buscemi, who's also in the movie. So it's got some of these guys that went on to do really like important stuff in Coen Brothers movies that I have seen. And I just think Buscemi and, Turturro as just like having been there from the start with Coen Brothers movies because they use them so much. But they're not. This is where it starts, that partnership for them.
Interesting.
And I got to say, I enjoyed this movie. Gabriel Byrne stars in it. He's good. Marcia Gay Harden is in it. Albert Finney, who's really good. But the real standout is John Polito, who plays this guy, Johnny Casper. And it's kind of like set in a town that they don't really explain where it is or what it is, but it's kind of the 40s and it's Prohibition era.
So it's sort of Chicago gangstery or Boston.
Yeah, but you get the feeling it's kind of a smaller city.
Okay.
And it's like Irish gangsters kind of run this place. And so all the Irish cops are kind of on board with the town boss, basically. And so there's, I think this is one that I'm going to have to watch another 5 times to fully appreciate it. It's not one of the ones that, like, from the word jump, I really enjoyed, like, say, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, or No Country for Old Men. Those are ones where I was just blown away first time. And every time I watch them, I'm just like, this just gets better and better. This one, it's like, okay, I like this. There's some really fun stuff in it, especially like where John Polito's character is like, you're giving me the hi-hat. I don't like people giving me the hi-hat. There's like this old-timey slang in it that's really fun. But the pacing of this one is really not glacial, but it is slow, very slowly paced. And I feel like if it had been edited just a little tighter, I would have been like immediately on board. Now, it may be something that within, a second watch or a third watch, I'll be like, no, that slow pacing is what makes this a masterpiece.
Right.
But
right.
watching it for the first time, I'm kind of like, this really kind of is dragging a little bit in my book. Let's get more to the gangsters with their funny slang and stuff. And
hey, Coen brothers, you're giving me the hi-hat.
Yeah, exactly. That stuff I just loved immediately, and especially Buscemi's character Mink. He like is so fast talking that it's like, what was that? What? You can rewind it a couple times and still not catch everything that he's saying. But it's I think it's a lot of fun. I'm glad I watched it. I won't rate it maybe in my top 5 Coen Brothers movies, although I've heard from a lot of people that say this is their number 1 favorite Coen Brothers movie. So I don't know, but I think it's worth going back, and if you haven't seen all the Coen Brothers movies, I think it's worth crossing them off their list, because every one that I've watched, I've enjoyed. So I was going to say, I can't say for sure that they never made a bad movie, because I still got like 3 to go.
Okay.
But as far as I can tell, they never made a bad movie. They made maybe movies that, like, first watch, not that appealing. But, usually with a second or third watch, you just really begin to understand how great a film it is. They're one of the few filmmakers that, like, where a bad movie in the first watch ends up becoming one of your favorite movies after 2 or 3 watches.
Mm-hmm. It's the quirky literature kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Catcher in the Rye was like a weird movie, and not that Coen brother movies are favored by serial killers, but it's just one of those stories that is an interesting, quirky thing that a lot of people universally like. I mean, Raising Arizona, I think, was the first one that I ever saw, and I mean, yeah, just so good.
Yeah, and that's one where first time watching it, I'm like, what?
Yes, like, what is happening?
But now I watch it, I'm just like, this is so great. This is just like live action Looney Tunes. It's just a lot of fun. It's a blast.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. It's so funny, like the genres that they touch on with their various movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you talked about, like the Looney Tunes thing. They've tried to do a rom-com. They do a lot of the noir type things.
Yes.
They clearly are big fans of movies. Like, it's a love affair, right? And it's their version of, if the Coen brothers did this, fill in the blank type of movie, this is what it would be like.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing.
But you know what? That despite that being a fantastic thing, I was happy and relieved to finally cross that off my list. It wasn't even the movie that I wanted to talk about today. I just mentioned it because you watched a Coen Brothers movie that I also really love. So I had to mention it. But I actually saw a movie that I really, really loved called The Night of the Hunter. And
is that an old movie?
It is an old movie. It's from 1955, and it stars Robert Mitchum in it.
Yeah, okay.
And this is a masterpiece that I didn't even really know existed I mean, I guess I vaguely had heard the name before, but I didn't really. It hadn't come up like a lot in people talking about like classic movies and stuff. Like Casablanca comes up, but I feel like this really should be rated as one of those all-time classic masterpieces. I don't think it's, for some reason, I don't think it's on the AFI Top 100, but many people cited this as one of the best movies ever made. So
Wow.
I believe it definitely should be on the AFI Top 100. And when you watch it, you immediately see all the places that this has influenced culture, and especially the movies. Now, the most famous thing in this is that Robert Mitchum's character, Harry Powell, has the words hate and love tattooed on his fists. And you already know that image. It's just ingrained in our brains, like from birth.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows the hate-love thing. And he plays this like fake preacher, basically, who ends up in jail with a guy that did a bank robbery. This is during the Great Depression again.
Okay.
And basically, he tries to get the information from the guy about the bank robbery. They're cellmates. And he can't get the info, but he goes and finds his family afterwards and tries to get them to tell him where the money is hid. And he does that by marrying the widowed mother of two kids, and the kids know where the money is hidden. And basically, he gets like fed up with the mother, Shelley Winters, a young Shelley Winters that plays Willa Harper. And she's great in this movie. And Peter Graves is in the movie. And the children that are the actors are the kids in the movie are amazing. Billy Chapin plays John Harper, and Sally Jane Bruce as Pearl Harper. They're just incredible kid actors, and I did some research, and they didn't really seem to go on too much after this. But they're so good in this movie, and I'm just like, why didn't they become like these huge stars? But this movie is so, like, such a masterpiece, but also so suspenseful and menacing at points that maybe it was just too much for them.
Yeah. Well, and maybe they weren't the Disney triple threat. They were like, we're actors, but we don't tap dance and we don't sing.
And then, so then he really tries to lean on these kids and tries to get them to tell him where the money is, and they decide they got to escape. So a lot of this movie is them, getting out of town. They find a boat, and they like ride this river as far as they can. Meanwhile, he's like basically hunting them the whole time.
How old are they?
I think they're about like 6 and 8, like roughly.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a simple story, but it's just Robert Mitchum is just so incredible in this role as this guy that can both come off like this righteous preacher guy, but also just has this menace to him that is incredible. And
I hate to say it, but kind of classic fake preacher vibes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's brilliant in this, and the direction from Charles Laughton, who was a famous actor. He actually played the Hunchback of Notre Dame. This was his first and only movie. Apparently, it really got like bad reviews when it came out.
Wow.
Because it's like the Coen brothers. It's a masterpiece that people didn't understand first time watching it. But the visuals to this movie are so incredible that I feel like, why haven't I seen this movie from, 2 decades ago? I should have been enjoying this. It's just an incredible masterpiece. And like I said, the visuals are just so stunning. It is truly a cinematic movie. And then the thing is, you can totally see the influence of this movie for one thing, this lady that ends up adopting the kids after,
Okay.
and so she's talking about the spirit of children and how, they may go through stuff, but some, they still abide. And the Coens took that line and applied it to the Dude later.
Wow.
And there's more to it than that. I mean, as far as the influence goes, like if you watch Cape Fear, the original Cape Fear, starring Robert Mitchum, you could see how it's kind of a carryover with that character, that menace that he had with this character in The Night of the Hunter.
Interesting.
And even in the 1991 Cape Fear, which I watched recently, that's got Robert De Niro in that role, you can see how that movie is very influenced by The Night of the Hunter, even more so than the original Cape Fear.
Okay.
And it right down to like these prison tattoos on Robert De Niro's character, and how he feels like this religious righteousness. There's so much of it that's just like, wow, okay, like so many like things are like coming together. Synapses are firing watching this movie. Like this is where this comes from.
Yeah.
It's an incredible masterpiece that I highly recommend for folks, if you haven't seen it, to check it out. And it's definitely suspenseful. I was kind of like on the edge of my seat for a good portion of this movie because he's almost like a Terminator, and like he's just relentless, chasing these kids. And they're like, doesn't this guy ever sleep? Well, we've seen this so much in movies that have come after this, like The Terminator and like in the movie Sundance, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the relentless Pinkerton detectives on their tail. Like these guys are good, we see that so much of the relentless pursuer. I feel like this was really one of the earliest incarnations of that kind of character trait.
Interesting. I love it. Like, and is it in color or black and white?
It's in black and white. And I feel like the black and white is so perfect for this because the way that Charles Laughton, plays with the shadows, and all the effects are, this is well before CGI, but every shot is just it's just so incredibly framed. Like when he kills Shelley Winter's character, he drives her car into the river. And so they show a shot of her underwater and her hair is like floating through the water. And it's just one of these most incredible like visuals that you ever seen. And I saw like an interview with Guillermo del Toro, and he's like, I've been trying to recreate that shot for 50 years, And it's just like, you can really see how the visuals of this were such a huge influence on it. And I watched a video that just compared different movies through the years that basically just stole shots like whole cloth from this movie.
From the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you see it, it's just like, oh, that's what that's from. That just clicks in your brain like many little things, which is the whole purpose of this segment and this exercise is really like connecting those dots,
Mm-hmm. I love that. All right. So now I'm inspired to maybe check this out because I love myself a movie like that. And I love the fact, and Robert Mitchum was sort of a classically good looking guy. And so it's always creepier when the bad guy is like the good looking guy.
Yeah. And just like the way he uses the expressions on his face in this is just so incredible. Even if you look at some of the stills from this movie, if you just like duck go it, and just look at some of the stills, you can see exactly what I'm talking about without even watching the movie. But I do highly recommend watching the movie. And I feel like I just saw this movie just in time because I started watching this series on Apple TV called Sugar. That's kind of a noir detective series starring Colin Farrell. And in the movie, in the show, he loves classic movies. So there's many times where it's illustrated like what how he's feeling, how he's thinking by cutting to old movies. And clips from Night of the Hunter show up in some significant scenes throughout this series. So it's like, oh,
right.
I get it.
Yes. I mean, it's like when people send you memes or they send you GIFs and
Yes.
you're like, and if you're like, that's probably funny. It's so nice to finally get things. It's like, oh, I get it. Okay, that's cool. I'm excited about this. I love the old movies. Like it's such like, there's so much good film history out there that goes far back. And it's, like, why aren't they making movies like they used to? Listen to me. I'm like, hey, you kids, get off my lawn. I sound like a cranky old person, but I don't know. Good stories. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a good movie, Cultural Blind Spot Week.
Absolutely. And I can recommend Sugar, by the way. Colin Farrell is great in this. It's the plot. You may have to watch it more than once to get every bit of the plot.
Okay.
But it is a lot of fun. So if you've got Apple TV, I'll recommend Sugar to folks out there as well. Because and not just that, but if you love old movies, and there was another case of this where one of these like cultural blind spot movies popped up in a TV series recently, where I was watching Your Friends and Neighbors. And John Hamm's character is watching The Killing, which I talked about on the show, Stanley Kubrick's, one of his earliest movies. And they're showing clips from that, and then they show him listening to a podcast about it. So I'm like, I feel seen.
There you go. There you go. I love it. Okay, so I've written it all down. So don't worry, people. You can totally go to the podcast version, and you can find it in the notes, and you can listen anytime.
Absolutely. Why don't we take a break? We'll get to our top topic or a great debate right after these words.
Let's do it.
Hey, I'm Stacey Heller. I'm one of your podcast pals, along with Eric Ryder from Don't Ask Me to Talk. Are you liking what you're listening to? Awesome. We would love if you would follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Don't Ask Me to Talk. We also are wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can follow us, subscribe, like, rate, whatever it is that you do. You can also email us. That's asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And if you'd like, text or leave us a voicemail at 475-999-2726. Basically, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
And welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. Thanks for sticking with us. This is our segment of the show we like to call The Great Debate, where we talk about our top topic. And each week we spin the wheel of topics, and it tells us exactly what we're going to be talking about or debating on the show. And last week we came up with the topic hangover cure. Now, as anybody that's listened to the show before knows, Stacey, you're the one that comes up with the topics that go on the wheel. So I always like to get your insight on where the inspiration for a particular topic came from.
Honestly, it's just conversations with friends talking about how as we get older, like a hangover just hits different. Like when we were kids and we were young and stupid, and you get the bed spins and you were like, ugh, and you'd be throwing up, and it was like this awful thing. But you seem to bounce back faster. But now it's like the whole headache thing and the dehydration that comes with a hangover. It's just brutal. And so lots of us have talked about how, is it even worth drinking anymore? And you know what? I will say this, I am no quitter. And so
you got right back on that horse and then fell off again.
Did. And so therefore, I had a vested interest in figuring out great, helpful hangover cures, which I know that as a sort of a teetotaler, you're, one cider a week that really knocks you back on your feet. You're taking.
I didn't say it knocks me back on my feet. I say this is what I do.
You're taking the Catholic approach of abstinence, essentially. I, on the other hand, am taking the other Catholic approach, which is drink it like a fish.
Well, you know what's funny that it comes up because this week because I keep seeing these ads on TV for this like non-alcohol alcohol. So it's like whiskey and tequila that's zero proof. And they just like keep showing like people working out and partying and stuff. You get all the fun without the, you know, the downsides or whatever. And I'm just thinking, really? Does anybody drink whiskey or tequila for the flavor? I think people put up with the flavor of hard alcohol because it comes with alcohol.
I totally agree with you on this. And I will say that when I was in high school, I was friends with a girl that turns out, really, no surprise, that she had addiction issues, both drinking and drugs. And I remember her bringing like a non-alcoholic beer to school. And she was like, it's non-alcoholic. And it was like, okay, I get that something with like, you know, beer. I actually craved beer when I was pregnant with our son, Will. And I knew what the taste was and I loved it with pizza. And so I would have a non-alcoholic beer when I was pregnant because it was the taste. It was something about it. But generally, I don't do the non-alcoholic thing, especially not when I'm running and working out and just like sitting around. I'm like, and I get that there's now these like kind of buzzy things that you can have.
Mocktails and stuff that, you know.
Right.
And I totally understand you that concept because, yeah, like people that are socializing with people that are drinking and don't want to drink, they still want to enjoy something themselves. They don't want to just, you know, just give me a Diet Coke every time. You know, it's fun to have something different and special, but just like the flavor of tequila with none of the buzz just does not seem appealing to me.
There's a reason why you make a face when you do a tequila shot.
And there's a reason
like,
why you're stirring tequila in with all these other ingredients that make it taste good.
Yeah. I'm so with you.
So yeah, that's just my thing. And then like the NA beers are really seem to be taking off. But as a person that never liked the flavor of beer, I don't quite understand that. But I think maybe like beer is like one of those things that people do. But like whiskey, I just don't know of anybody like really liking the taste of whiskey without the buzz, obviously.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like the beer thing is a very distinctive taste. And we were talking about Spider-Man last week, and I'm pretty sure that Tom Holland has come out with his own
Beero,
beer. And, you know, like there are people that genuinely enjoy the taste. And like I said, when I was pregnant, I really craved it and was like, I'm not going to drink when I'm pregnant. The funny thing is I very rarely have beer anymore because, you know, I'm not pregnant. Or at least I'm not pregnant with Will.
Please don't cut that sentence out and run with it. I don't drink beer anymore because I'm not pregnant. Just out of context sounds maybe a little rough.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, okay, but so hangover cures, they're important.
Yeah. They are important. And, you know, once upon a time, as I said, I might have overindulged a couple of times. Now, honestly, I think I never liked the taste of alcohol growing up. So when, you know, people would offer me wine or beer or whatever, you know, my uncle would offer me like a sip of beer and I'd be like, try it. And then I'm just like, oh, I don't like that. No, thanks. So the next time you want a sip of beer, no, thanks. Come on, it'll put hair on your chest. I don't really want hair on my chest or that beer. Thank you very much. And even now that I have hair on my chest, I still don't want it. And the same thing with like red wine and stuff that people would offer, you know, you want a taste of this? Not really. I just wasn't into it. Now, I've kind of grown to appreciate some red wines, but overall, I've just never been a fan of the taste of most of the common alcohols
Yeah.
out there. Cider is my one exception. And I do like some of the fancy foo-foo drinks, like if you want to give me a Manhattan, okay, I'm okay with that. I like that. But again, these like $15 drinks, I'm not out like going, yes, let me, put another mortgage on the house so I can hang out at a cocktail bar this weekend.
You're so practical. What's that
I know,
like?
I know. But my point being that, so I didn't really actually start drinking until in my 30s. So all that time of like recklessness that people are really reckless in their 20s, I just didn't have that because I was just like, I don't like any of this stuff. So no thanks. I'll stick with sodas. And also cider, which I like probably had like around 26. And that was like a revelation like, oh, there is something that I can enjoy.
Yeah.
That wasn't like readily available at like most bars and different places. I mean, you could get like one brand of it in a liquor store.
Yeah.
It was called Hornsby's, and it wasn't great. So if there was a party happening or whatever, I would get that, and I'd be like, all right, this is all right. But that's it.
Right.
But then, like, since then, we've had this whole craft cider revolution, but that wasn't until I'm in my 30s. So I was a grown-ass adult with a job and real responsibilities by the time I started imbibing alcohol. And so I feel like just being of an older age and being a more responsible adult at that point, I never really took it too far. There was once or twice where I might have taken it too far. So this is a long-winded way of me saying that I have never really had to deal with hangovers, thankfully. One time, I think I indulged too much that I actually spewed the next day because it was just like, okay, I took down like way too much last night. But then as soon as I spewed, I felt great. I felt better.
I mean,
so I got to say, I think that is my number one tip.
boot and rally, people.
If you can puke and get that stuff out of your system, you're going to feel a whole lot better.
Well, there you go. You've heard it here first.
But then the other thing that I learned just by accident, because I wanted to pace myself, if I'm at a bar for 3-4 hours, like seeing a show, I don't like do like drink after drink after drink. I have like a big glass of water in between drinks. So if I've had 3 or 4 even ciders in a night, and that's about the max I would ever do, I've had a glass of water in between each thing. And I found that I never like felt bad the next day, or was even like at the end of the night all that messed up because of the water in between.
Yeah, that's like a preemptive thing that you can 100% do.
Yeah.
Like drinking lots of water in between, and then also taking a painkiller at the end of the night and having water on your bedside table, because really the hangover is your brain becoming super dehydrated. I mean, that's what it's about. And so then, it's like you need electrolytes and you need to rehydrate, and, that's typically what's happening. So yes, drinking the water, painkiller, and water on your bedside.
So since I didn't have that much experience with it and never really needed a hangover cure, I DuckDuckGo'd it and came up with an article from Harvard Health, or health.harvard.edu. That's 7 hangover remedies. And so the actual like medical community have weighed in on some of this stuff. So I'll say we've already covered number 1, which was drinking fluids, because alcohol promotes urination because it inhibits the release of vasopressin, a hormone that decreases the volume of urine made by the kidneys. So blah, blah, blah. If you drink in between, you whiz and you get that stuff out of your system, you're feeling better. Number 2, get some carbohydrates into your system. So the old eat while you drink thing, there's weight to that. Drinking may lower
Nope.
blood sugar levels. So
Hey, wait. Before you go
Yeah.
on, some of us do drink, so we don't have to look up something on DuckDuckGo. And so what I was going to say is, and this is going to tie in nicely with your thing, chocolate milk and a bagel, baby.
Well, that's the carbohydrates in your system.
Yep. That's the thing that Pete lived in the 80s and 90s in New York and was out drinking like a fish all the time. And he swears on a bagel and chocolate milk.
Well, what I wanted to do was kind of quickly run through this list because there's two things. There's what actually works and what science says, and there is the folklore of everybody's got their favorite thing. So let's just quickly run through what you should actually do, and then let's get to the fun stuff that everybody's got their thing that they swear by. So drinking fluids, getting some carbohydrates in your system, avoiding darker colored alcoholic beverages, apparently. So,
really?
Yeah, experiments have shown that clear liquors such as vodka and gin tend to cause hangovers less frequently than dark ones, such as whiskey, red wine, and tequila.
Hey,
which is wild.
I liked gin.
Yeah, so who knew? But also, you mentioned take a pain reliever, but not Tylenol, it says. Aspirin, ibuprofen, and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs or NSAIDs may help with headaches and overall achy feelings. Another one that we've seen in the movie countless times is drink coffee or tea. Because caffeine may not have any special anti-hangover powers, but as a stimulant, it could help with the grogginess. It's important to keep in mind that caffeine and alcohol shouldn't be mixed, but I mean, they certainly have been, like with the Four Locos of the world. But you do see that in movies. Let's get some black coffee into them, sober up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think part of that is not just the caffeine, though, but the liquid,
Yes.
So taking B vitamins and zinc apparently could be helpful. And they actually list the other thing that we see in movies and TV all the time, hair of the dog. Which is drinking to ease the symptoms of a hangover is sometimes called taking the hair of the dog or hair of the dog that bit you. The notion that is that hangovers are a form of alcohol withdrawal, so a drink or two will ease the withdrawal. However, the hair of the dog just perpetuates a cycle. It doesn't allow you to recover. So that's important stuff. So that's what an actual doctor recommends. But through time immemorial, we've heard all these like fun versions of the hangover cure. And people sometimes have a family one or a friend that, you mentioned Pete with his chocolate milk and bagels, which sounds like could be good, but also sounds like the worst puke that you could do.
Right.
So I guess you got to place that at the right place, the right time. So like I said, being not much of a drinker myself, I don't think I actually have a special cure, but I would think like pickle juice would be a good thing, just because of the hydration part of it, the electrolytes.
Are you pregnant?
No, but they say like athletes, benefit from drinking pickle juice, and it's the same theory that the hydration and the just like drinking Gatorade is the same kind of thing. So pickle juice is, the electrolytes. It's just like that. So that's one thing I would think. Maybe eat some pickles, drink some pickle juice. But how about you? Do you have one that's like, friends and family have shared over the years?
Well, so interestingly, I know that there's athletes that drink chocolate milk after a workout, after they've done a workout. So there must be something in chocolate milk that has a similar effect as like an electrolytes. But the water thing is huge, like flushing the system 100%.
Yeah. And I think drinking in between drinks, drinking water in between drinks is the real secret sauce to that. Just having a bunch of water after you're drunk is helpful. But it doesn't. I feel like it works way more effectively if it's in between your alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And I like a salty carb. Like, yes, I think it kind of is like the brat diet, right? Which is the
Eat a bunch of bratwurst?
no.
Oh.
It's like the plain like banana.
That's my
rice.
idea of the brat diet.
Like it's a
Some
plain diet.
mustard.
That'll be great coming out a second time. God. No, it's basically like having something that isn't too like it's not going to make you get sick, but it's going to kind of ground you and so feel like you have something in your stomach because it's just the worst. But there's a lot of people that drink coconut water. They swear by coconut water specifically.
Oh,
and
speaking of that, I got some chocolate coconut water this last week that I've been like nom 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 on.
Okay.
So that may be the perfect thing.
So there you go. The other thing that people are big on is liquid IV. So again, like your electrolytes. And so people love doing liquid IV. And then I've also heard people doing like a vitamin B drip or whatever. Like if you can get that, it makes you feel better. But, you've got to have it inside in the medical industry, which I do know. So,
yeah. And, not drinking to excess is probably your best scenario.
Probably.
But everybody,
especially as you get older.
Yeah. And everybody has these occasions where it's like, let loose, you're up all night at a wedding reception or whatever. It's going to happen. So, try and hydrate in between those drinks and, try some of these other good things I think we talked about, having some
and
food.
if you have other ideas, then, hey, don't have a moment's hesitation. Reach out to us and let us know what they are because we're always happy to share information. We are, after all, essentially a long PSA for people. Right? No,
sure.
Not even a little bit.
Sure we are.
Yeah. Anyway, so drink responsibly, people. How'd I do?
I think you did good.
All right. Well, what are we talking about next time?
Another head scratcher here, Stacey.
Oh, I love that.
Shower length? Now, you mean how long should we stay in the shower for?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why, but I immediately was thinking of like the shower curtain. Like, how long should it be?
Standard is 92 inches. Eric.
Right. I'm so prepped with the confusing ones, like top sheet,
right,
top shear,
that
I just like I'm trying to crack these now. But shower length, it's exactly what it says. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, people have different ideas of how long a shower should be. For instance, my son Charlie, he thinks it should be minimum of 50 minutes.
I understand that desire, but when you're paying the water bill, it's a different feeling.
Exactly. Yep. So we'll talk about this next week.
I love it. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening this week. Have yourself a wonderful week. Enjoy a nice lengthy shower and then join us again next time.
Totally. And if you can get a free ladle, go get it.
Go get it.